My name is Adora Skeetalk, and at the age of 7, I published my first book, Flying Fingers, Master the Tools of Learning Through the Joy of Writing, which you saw on display. More recently, I published a second book. It's called Dancing Fingers, and it's a book of poetry that I co-authored with my older sister. So those are the two books that I've published, and one of my favorite kinds of writing is something called personal narrative. Does anyone know what personal narrative is? Well, a narrative is just a narrative, no personal. A narrative is basically a story. The Lord of the Rings is a narrative, and so is your favorite cartoon. What are some other examples of narratives? Anybody? What are some other examples of narratives? If a narrative is a story, The Lord of the Rings is a narrative. What are some narratives that you have read this week? Okay, Harry Potter. Great. What's another example of a narrative you've read? Yeah, it might be a little easier to hear. Although I appreciate your enthusiasm.
Enemy pie? You said enemy pie?
Enemy Pie? Was that the name?
Yes.
Interesting. I haven't heard of that one, but it sounds like it might be an interesting book. Enemy Pie? Okay, let's get one more. Avatar. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, you could call that a narrative. Actually, movies. Yeah, movie plot lines would be narratives. I saw that one like 2 weeks ago. Oh, and you know what else? I got to meet James Cameron and take a picture.
Who's that?
The guy who directed Avatar. Okay, anyway, back to topic. Stories from your own life are narratives too, so it doesn't just have to be movies or stories. Stories from your own life are called personal narrative. So today we're going to be learning about how to pick a good personal narrative and how to make it more interesting. So to start off, what kinds of stories do you like? Mystery, history, what kinds of stories do you like?
Mystery.
Mysteries? Great. Let's get another one.
Graphic novels.
Graphic novels. Okay. And let's get one more. Fantasy. Yes, I like fantasy a lot as well. Okay, great. So we have mystery, graphic novels, and fantasy. Now the one thing that most stories you will read in those genres, even though they're pretty much totally different, the one thing that all of those stories have in common is usually, anyway, suspense. Stories are more exciting when they are suspenseful. Does anyone want to tell me what suspense means?